World Combat Sports. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Once again, it's that time for open mic session where I have special guests on deck to talk about some general topics, subjects, whatever you want to call it. It can be boxing or anything that's pertaining to. You know what? We might get off subject and talk about the pandemic on how it's affecting the sport in general and how long it'll take to basically get back to where it used to be. So just give me a moment. I'm waiting for my guests to chime in. I know y'all all having a nice Monday. You know what I'm saying? You got that first day of work out the way for the week. And it's you one day short to get to that weekend again, you know, where you can basically set it off once more. Go to happy hour, to the club, go out with your lady, whatever. Watch some boxing. We have boxing this week. Another 2-fight card header. So it should be definitely on point. So let me bring in a special guest right quick if y'all stand by. Get
How you doing? How you doing? How's everybody doing?
Hey, what's going on? Let me introduce you there, Jerry. Hello, everyone. Scotty White, World Combat Sports, man. I have the pleasure of speaking with an upcoming rising star in the heavyweight division, Jerry Forrest in the building. How you feel, man?
Feeling great, blessed. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Hey, man, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for dropping in first and foremost. I know you have a lot going on this week, man. How has everything been for you? You know, with the changing of replacement of your opponent, Jarrell Miller, to now fighting another opponent, Carlos Takam, who's been in there with some top names, man. How you feeling?
The same. They're very similar fighters. The difference would be Taco a little smaller, quicker, more explosive. But same kind of fighter, comes forward. Not predictable, but the punches are very seeable. They're very missable. But they're the same style fighter. I'm not changing that much at all.
Man, you're 26-3, 20 knockouts, man. Your alias is the Slugger. Do you think that's gonna play a big role in there with Carlos Takam?
I'm a boxer. Anyone will tell you I box first. That's my first thing. Box first and worry about everything second. If it comes to slugging, I feel that I'm always the best at that, truthfully. But I'm always a boxer first. Always a boxer first.
Did you have to change up anything at the last minute, man? I know you've been in fight camp pretty much preparing for Jarrell Miller, and now you have Carlos Takam. What was the discussion like with you in your fight camp? You know, with your team, rather. What was the discussion?
So the question was that I initially asked was, basically, was he tested? My camp, informed me that he had not been tested in a couple months. So I asked for them to require a test to be made. And that's when we discovered the PEDs. So,
wow.
Not that we were thinking that he was clean or dirty, but I figured he was dirty. And that's why we asked for the test. So, I'm not saying that we knew it for sure, but we were pretty dead on that he was probably still just.
Man, a lot of people I talk to, they say you're a pretty intelligent dude, and that was a smart move to suggest the test. You know what I'm saying? And boxing is a dirty game, but I know for you, Jerry, you would have liked to got in there and fought Jarrell Miller if anything else.
I wanted the name recognition. Takam is a top fighter, but he's not known. For me, boxing's an entertainment game also. And I know I could have looked good against that guy. And that's what I want. But it's cool. Takam's a great fighter. He's a top fighter, very hard fighter. been in there with the best fighters in the world. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be it's gonna be a battle.
And man, let me say first and foremost, congrats to the call up, man. It is a big deal for you stepping in there with, Carlos Takam, even to get the call up for Jarrell Miller. And I see,
Yeah, definitely.
in April, you got another big fight, man. You got like an undefeated fighter that's scheduled for April, right or wrong?
Yeah, so that's still in the air. That's Philip Hekovic. He's like the world-renowned new Mike Tyson, but bigger. So we're looking for that challenge, but we're not sure that's going to happen. It's still in the air. But yeah,
Man,
all challenges.
okay, for sure, man. You started boxing in 2012, man. How has the ride been for you? You only have 3 defeats. 2 of those defeats was against very tough names. Gerald Washington and the other one you had 2 back-to-back defeats.
Yeah.
But
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the Olympian Michael Hunter.
Michael Hunter, correct.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I beat Michael. Jarrell, I didn't train. No excuses. No excuses. Just didn't train.
And it was early in your career too, man.
Yeah. I was feeling myself ill prepared, very ill prepared. 7-0, 7 knockouts. I was just feeling myself too much, and I lacked the training. It was a huge wake up, huge wake up call.
But how are you feeling now, man, on fight week, being out there in Vegas? Tell me a little bit about the protocol you fighters have to go through out there.
So it's something called the bubble. We can't leave the bubble. Can't move from the bubble. Can't. They're pretty much keeping us clean quarantine. They're trying to make it as safe as they can. They have a product that they also have to protect. So, it's understandable, and I know exactly where they're coming from with it. So, we made sure that we made the proper steps.
That's what's up, man. We just joined by the one and only John Owens. His father and himself have been a part of boxing for decades, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, salute for coming in there, John Owens.
Definitely.
Can you hear me, John?
I think he froze up.
Okay. Hey, but tell me this, Jerry. Being that, what would you change about a fighter such as Jarrell Miller, who has tested positive for his 5th time in competitive combat sports, 3 times as a boxer? What advice would you use, man? Because I heard one of your interviews where you was talking about do everything right, eat right, train right, and everything else. What advice would you have for the fighters?
Yeah, when I say do it right, I'm referring to the proper way to work out, proper way to train. Keeping it consistent. You don't want to cheat. When you cheat, you have to compensate for something always. Like I said, Big Baby Miller, obviously he's always been lacking something. Anytime you cheat repeatedly, habitually like that, you're lacking something and you're trying to make up for whatever it is you're lacking. And I mean, that's just common sense. So I feel for me, if you trust, letting Jarrell Miller fight somebody else again and putting, their life in the hands of somebody that's possibly taking steroids, that would be on the fire. But personally, I wouldn't suggest anybody to ever fight. Personally, I mean, that's just, to me, that's pure carnage. We get punched in the head for a living. And like I said, if somebody dies while he's on PEDs, to me, that's the ultimate slap in the face. That's not an accident.
That's true words, man. And I can see you being very humble about the situation, even though it was a big step up for you to go in there and face somebody like Jarrell Miller, who is coming off a positive test with Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Now, you have to deal with the situation with facing a fighter like Carlos Takam, who's been in there with Anthony Joshua. But from what I hear, he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? But still, y'all have to go in there and battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I fought guys like Takam. Amateurs, I fought the best as amateurs, sparred the best pros. I'm ready. It's for me, I tell people, man, the only difference is I was born in Virginia. You know what I mean? Guys like Miller, guys like Takam. There's not many guys in Takam's country. There's not many guys in Lucian's gym that's 300 pounds. So you switch me out with one of those guys, and I'm a superstar already. It's just that I've done it my way. That's the only difference.
That's what's up. Hey, John. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Hey, this is Jerry Slugger Forrest. He's stepping in there this week in the heavyweight division to face Carlos Takam. He was originally scheduled to face Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who popped dirty again. Do you have a question for him while he's on here there, John?
Yeah, I know Jerry well. Watched him.
What's going on, big dog?
The Slugger.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
Hey, I just wish you best of luck, man. It's your time, man.
Definitely.
You really were one of the classic guys in this business that did the right way. Just never got the opportunity, but I grant and I hope God see you through this one so you can finally get your big break. You've been around a long time, brother.
Yeah, when you don't sign with a promoter, man, it staggers you a lot. But that's why we signed with the developer. You know what I'm saying? I signed with who I wanted to sign, but on great terms. I'm happy. Yeah, this year in 2021 will be crazy.
Yeah, you real classy dude, man. I just hope God bless you, man. You get your break and your chance to really shine and really.
Yeah, we're trying to bring it back, man. We're trying to bring it back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Make people want to watch it and watch the personality. So, you know what I'm saying? Not being funny. I think people like me are great for boxing. For real. Because we're regular people. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of guys that's out there beside and they ain't really training, not really in the gym. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like classic boxing is starting to come back. The real life grinders are starting to, they're starting to get noticed again. Floyd kind of messes up with that whole 50-0. But now, you know what I'm saying, guys without records that are undefeated are now showing that we still have poise, that we're still great boxers, we're still great champions. So it's definitely coming back in my favor. And fighters like me in favor.
Hey, Jerry, were you on prior military or dealt with something dealing with the military? I know your father may have been. Can you explain that?
My father is a E9. He's a Master Chief in the United States Navy. My mom works for the CIA. I am a nuclear electrician by trade. I've actually worked on plenty of naval vessels. I basically powered the SO ships. Me and my team, what we did was we basically powered the reactor, powered all the electrical components on subs. Pretty much almost every sub, no lie, that the United States makes was in my yard. So we powered them, and I was one of the only people to actually oversee a lot of the stuff that was finalized on a lot of those subs. So I got to see some stuff that 5 to 10 people probably never seen on certain aspects of life.
So in your line of work, man, have you ever had to square somebody away? You know that terminology.
Never.
Oh, okay.
At the shipyard, man, they showed me a lot of love. I mean, I no longer work there, of course, but when I did, man, by trade, they showed me a lot of. They still use 40,000 people there, so I was definitely a hero amongst the guys.
Hey, tell your parents appreciate their service. Thank you. You know, they're going out there making that sacrifice, and also they raised a classic, a classic product of dual military household, doing it the right way, man. And a lot of people got respect for you out here, man. So of course we want to see you go in there and get this win. Can you let your fight fans know when you're stepping into the ring, man?
Hold on, I can't hear you guys. Audio.
What about now?
Oh man, I have no idea. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm sorry. What did you say? What was the question? I can hear you a little.
Okay. I said, can you let your fight fans know when you're due to step into the ring, man, this week?
Oh, definitely. So July 9th, Las Vegas, Nevada, ESPN, 9 o'clock. We're the only thing on TV that day. So, why not catch us? Why not check us out? Support us. We're the first heavyweights to headline this year in the pandemic. So this is a big deal.
Hey, I want to ask you this there, Jerry, and then, this is my last question. What did your team tell you once? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
What would your team tell you, man, once you, y'all received the test back, the Jarrell popped dirty? Like, how did you get the information first? Who sent that information to you?
Well, media is very fast. So media, they can hear me. My phone.
He dropped out. He'll be back. He had to come back in through it. How you feel that, John Owens?
Hey, man, I'm great, man. You know, just living.
The man, the myth, the legend is back. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Streeter Twins to get on here, man, so we can talk about some of the general topics. I'm gonna get them back on here right quick.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm inside the hotel room at training camp. So sorry, that's why my phone's cutting out. So
Okay.
but oh, go ahead. I heard the question, then it cut out on. So it was something that we were prepared for. We didn't know who would fight if he tested negative. But yeah, I got text messages maybe 10 minutes before my manager called me.
Okay.
And I'm like, I hadn't responded yet to the text. I'm like, there's no way the reporters know already. So seeing my manager calling, I was like, shit. So I answered. He's like, I got Lou on the phone. I was like, no. They were like, yeah. So we all agreed that we would fight anybody. So that's what we did. You know, Takam accepted. So we said, cool. Let's keep it rolling. Let's make the show happen.
Has Jarrell Miller reached out to you, man, for gave you an apology?
Never. He's not that kind of guy. Jarrell Miller, listen, you're a man, I'm a man. The boy, he wants to be a villain, right? He want to play games.
Okay.
That's cool being a bad guy. You ain't got to apologize. You cut your eyebrows. You're not that tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a real. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take anything from him. He's playing his role. Quiet, villain. Usually he pops off the people. You know what I'm saying? You notice he never came at me on any aspects yet. Real recognized, bro. That's the most I can say about that. We know each other. Real recognized, bro.
Hey, true words, man. Once again, hey, thank you for stopping through, man, for giving me the interview. I know you got a busy week, my brother. Once again, salute to you and your parents, man, for your service. And all the best going in there, getting that victory this week. I'll definitely be tuned in for your fight, man. Go in there and be smart. You know what I'm saying?
I'll think about boxing.
Absolutely, man. Salute to you and all the best in there, man. Thank you for stopping through World Combat Sports.
Yes, sir. Blessings, combat. Everybody, y'all be safe.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you.
Appreciate that, everybody who stopped in. That was Jerry Forrest, man. He was due to step in there with Jarrell Miller, who popped positive for the 5th time in his combat career, 3 times in the sport of boxing. So therefore, Jerry Forrest's opponent was replaced at the last minute. But the crazy thing about it, they demanded the test. The test came back positive, and now he have to face Carlos Takam, who's been in there with Anthony Joshua, Alexander Povetkin, and the big names like that. So he's due to step in there July 9th, top rank, and we look forward to supporting him, man. And once again, John Owens on here, he knows him very well. He's been in the sport of boxing for decades. So, of course, they have familiarity with him. What you think about that, John?
Hey, it's subtle for a brother at this time to be cheating. I mean, what you cheating for? I mean, my take on the situation is that many times, man, you probably might need to hang up your gloves, man, and just find a day job. Because it's already a pandemic going on in the country, and this is how some people eat.
Yeah.
So if they want to replace somebody, now I got to worry about how I'm gonna feed my kids or how I'm gonna pay my mortgage because you want to cheat. I mean, it's sad, man, but it just ain't right.
Hey, man, as long as you've been in the game, John, do you think it should be stricter measures taken, man, with boxers who's testing positive, bro? Especially Jarrell Miller, who's a repeat offender.
Of course. I mean, it should be regulated like any other sport. They have steroid tests in football, marijuana tests in football. So let's have some marijuana tests or steroid tests in boxing. One, if you can kill a man by tackling him head to head, what can you do with your fist? I mean, this teeth thing is just getting out of hand. It's just out of pocket. people don't start taking PEDs, you know, to enhance themselves. But in the end, you killing yourself and your body, but you also have the possibility to kill somebody else. So it should be stricter measures. I mean, that part of the game needs to be regulated.
Hey, coming from a general, man. Hey, I want to recognize the live chat, man. M. Greg 64. Salute to you, Wrench. Appreciate it. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk. Appreciate you dropping through always, man. And Boxing Queen herself, Denise Wars, and Shaquita Dow, man, in the building. Thank y'all ladies for dropping in. We just had Jerry Forrest on deck, you know, and you know the unique part about this, I get to have John Owens on deck, who's been in sport for quite some time, along with his father, who's been in sport for the longest of time and raised him in it. And he deals with a lot of behind the scenes, you know, when it comes to the sport of boxing. So we definitely gonna touch on some topics, especially the Jarrell Miller popping positive, you know, for a third time in boxing. You know, I'm kind of asking him his, you know, what he think about it. I want to get his feedback on all of this. So thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat, you know, and I'll definitely try to bring them up as a talking point and ask him why he's here. Stephen Wood in the building. He said, John, Stephen said, how many tests do you have to fail before you ban from boxing?
We should get some regulations to the point where if you test positive 3 times, you really should be gone. Because why do we, okay, to Steve's question, great question, but this is the thing. We are professional businessmen.
Yeah.
Whether you fight, whether you matchmake, whether you promote, whether you advise people, you are professional. Just like when you're in the Marines or the Army, you are a professional and you're expected to take an oath. What's the problem that's wrong with the world and not just sports, there's a lack of honor and integrity, man. People lack honor. When you lack honor is when you take things such as a PED because you don't want to bust your tail to do what you got to do to beat another man. Mm-hmm. Three strikes, you out of there. 1, we can get by, you know, everybody's entitled to a second chance. But damn, 5 chances, that's just too much right now. There's too many times.
You're right, man. Hey, what's worse there, John? Testing positive for PEDs multiple times, loading your gloves, you know, have a foreign substance in your gloves like Margarito, or basically biting somebody's ear off on both sides, you know. Which one is worse, man? Because boxing has been pretty lenient, in my opinion, to the severity of these type of acts. So, you know, the deal with Nassim Richardson catching the plaster of Paris that was being put in Margarito's glove. He was only suspended, what, a year or 2? A year. The time he came back, there was no protocol for him to go through, no intervention. He just automatically got his license back and he's back in the ring. And then Tyson, we all know what happened to him. He was fined like what, $3 million or something like that. He was fined a pretty hefty part, but he was able to come back and box. So what's your take on that, man? Which one is most severe?
The Margarita situation.
Okay.
The reason why I say the Margarita situation, Mike Tyson openly used aggression to bit a man ear off. Okay, that's not every day that you see that. Mm-hmm. Okay, he went left. He turned into an animal, accountable. He bit his ear off. But to put plaster pair of something they make cast with in your hand to fight another man, which you could damage the man's eye socket. You could have brutalized the man for the rest of his life. But that's the most egregious offense because you openly cheated. And here's the thing that really makes that funny. They fought in Las Vegas, one of the stiffest commissions in the land. And it took for a manager, meaning you got inspectors that inspect gloves in the back with you. Mm-hmm. That are sworn officers of the law. They work for the governor and Secretary of State. How did he manage to cheat in front of 9 other eyes? How he managed to do that? Because there are no regulations in boxing because money talk, and we know the rest. Because one, Margarito Ben had loaded hands.
How many fights back outside of Cotto you think he was doing that?
I think long before he fought Paul Williams.
Okay. Wow. All right.
All you got to do is, I tell people all the time, look at the cuts and the gashes these dudes carry on their face. If a man got stitches and had plastic surgery on his face, you still can see the scar. Those were loaded hands, man. Think about all the things, and I don't want to touch on other things because I don't want to get the conversation that we having in the dialogue that we having, let people go left. But you know where I'm finna go, but I'm gonna leave that for another day.
No, let me hear part of what you said, man. Go ahead, speak on it, man.
One, you got to be a coward to load your hands and cheat. You are a coward. Secondly, you have no integrity or you have no character for the sport that you all love. Now, why do we have to cheat? Some of these fighters are making astronomical numbers and got astronomical numbers in their bank account. Some of these fighters have made what people won't make in a year's time. Perhaps they making one fight what most people won't see in their lifetime.
Correct.
And you mean to tell me you're going to cheat? Why? What the hell is cheating? I'm going to tell somebody this, and I heard Paul Williams told me this one time. He said, man, I fought for an astronomical number. I ain't going to call out what the purse amount.
Correct.
But he said, I fought for astronomical number. I fought Sergio. He stopped me. That was the second loss of my career. But he said when he got up off the floor and they put him on the stool, he said, man, when I stand in that bank line in the morning, I'm going to laugh at this shit. This is what I'm telling you. You have people that have class, man. When you, and I hate to say it, but when you cheat, you have driven yourself to trash, man.
Yeah.
You lack class. You are a tyrant, a heathen, an idiot. The kind of money that man making, what he cheating for?
True.
That man is rich, man.
And shout out to Paul the Punisher Williams, man. You know, one of the superstars that was in the sport. Unfortunately, you know, career cut a little short. 41 victories, 2 losses, and 27 knockouts, man. The man was an absolute hitter. Very, very entertaining to watch. I'm gonna get to some of the live chats. Denise Ward say Margarito has always been suspect. Stephen Ward say Owens dropping that knowledge right now. Shout out to James Dunn. I see you, Square. Stephen said I totally agree. Michael Johnson Boxing says Shakita, you following me? Okay, how you doing? Let me see. Miller better get his pockets right and pay Prince back. Hey, man, you know, when it comes to paychecks and money and all that, Jarrell Miller, when he was taking that stuff, John, he knew the repercussions. Just like you said, Paul was like, hey, I'm going to laugh at the bank when it's all over with after he got stopped. What Jarrell Miller laughing at? You know, Jarrell can't even make it to the first bail, man. He can't even make it to the first bail to laugh at what he's getting paid. $5 million he squandered against Joshua, bro. $5 freaking million. And no telling what he squandered on this fight.
But I blame his representation for all of that. I blame his representation. I don't really want to get on this phone and really give out the jewels for free. But
absolutely. I agree. I know what you're talking about. I agree.
Can I say it like this and not to step on nobody's toes? He got a horrible promoter. He got a horrible manager. And he got his trainers, they bums, man. They is bums.
But didn't he sign with Top Rank recently, John?
He got a horrible promoter. It don't matter. It don't matter who you promoted by. It don't matter. Let me tell you we got to be PG-13 on this thing. But this is what I'm telling you. You know what I'm finna say, because you know I don't leave no T's uncrossed, man. Listen.
But you dot them eyes though.
Yeah. Top rank over there, ball air and top rank over there throwing fucking dollars out the window. They wasting money, man. Jarrell Miller is not a professional fighter. He's a joke. If I'm promoting you and it's costing me money, not only is you making a bad representation for my brand, but other fighters, they laughing at y'all right now. Like, why would we want to sign a top rank and they're promoting that joke over there? He done failed 5 drug tests. And this is not innuendo. This is not media frenzy. This ain't fake news. These the facts. They on the table.
True.
So I would get rid of his ass just as soon as he could get his big 300-pound ass down. I would send him on his way and let him be a club fighter. Because, man, everybody is gifted to box, but not everybody is gifted to be a champion. Everybody not chosen to be the champ. Everybody not chosen to represent and have integrity. Everybody not chosen to do that. So he is putting a black eye on boxing during the coronavirus. 5 tests in a row. Somebody, his mama, his family members need to gather around that man and tell him he blowing it, man. Yeah. Somebody really need to talk to him and tell him he blowing it. You're really blowing it. Your life can be changed with one punch. But you finna fight Anthony Johnson for $5 million. What happened? You pissed hot. Now you pushing on the man. The man looking at you like you stupid. Like, let me find somebody else who I can get this free $5 million to.
Talk to him, John. Talk to him, man. Hey,
you jackass.
Hey, John, man. When I talked to him in Jersey, right after he popped positive, I knew I was gonna get around to it, but he ended up, bringing it up, and he said, "You know what? I'm not perfect." And at that time, I thought, really, Jarrell Miller got it. Like he said, I could have pointed the finger at a lot of people, but I didn't. And then, it was, it's kind of chaotic out there. But he said, I'm not perfect. I fucked up and this, that, and the other, right? So I thought he had it. I thought he had this shit. I thought he was clear. I thought he understood the repercussions of it all. And then he comes up here and do the same thing again, man. Bruh.
Because of representation. He just told you the truth. What I just told you was facts. Man, cats on his level ain't going to the drugstore to buy the medicine, man. They're not doing that. If I'm in a gym and you telling me, you say, "Hey, John, you my trainer, right?" You say, "Hey, John, in the morning, we're going to try this new supplement." But I ain't thinking to ask you, is it banned? I'm not thinking to ask you, "Hey, man, I trust you. I pay you to take care of me." Yeah. I'm going to take care of us in the rain, but I'm paying you to get me ready to take care of myself in the rain. So I'm not going to question your judgment because I trust you as my man. He's not saying, "Hey, is this banned by boxing? Is this banned by water?" He just taking the stuff, man. So it ain't his fault. He right. He a grown man, but come on, man. It's too much at stake for you not to be paying attention to the detail and not taking care of your business, man. It's too much on the line for you to be that stupid, man. And I'm not calling him stupid as disrespecting him as a man. I'm just saying sometimes, like I say, a lot of men finna get hot on the phone, but I got to say it. That's why you pay women, or that's why you pay people with brains to think for you. You pay them to think for you. You pay them to take care of your business. You fight, but you pay people that you can trust and rely on. Because if I was him and Jarrell Miller, I'm telling this brother, the brother on the airways, you need to fire every last damn cat in your camp. They need to be fired immediately. I'm talking about replace. You're supposed to have a new camp in the morning. All them bastards got to go.
I got something for you though, John. I think his advisor or his manager is a female, man. I ain't gonna mention her name.
She need to be fired. She need to be fired. Look how much money they done lost. $5 million with Anthony Johnson. Ching ching. How much money he just lost with Jerry Forrest. Ching ching. How much money he lost. If you do the numbers of how much money He done lost this year. He done lost $30 million this year.
Hey.
Just this year. And you're not getting no, your sponsors done backed off for you so you can take them checks away from you. They gone. So now you see what I'm saying? Everybody in the camp need to be replaced. Now, this is for anybody that's on the phone that's in the executive side of boxing. I caution you, please stay away from no-not niggas. Stay away from them. They don't know nothing.
Flies and no knots.
Flies and no knots. Stay away from them people. They dangerous, man. They are dangerous, man.
Hey, I know the next topic you really gonna light up, man. Because we talked about this off record for quite some time, you know, and everything. But I appreciate your jewels on Jarrell Miller, man. And for those of you that's tuned in, man, I'm telling you, you know, John, he always then dropped some jewels to me and taught me a lot, you know, when it comes to how boxing actually works. Being he's been involved in the sport for so long, man. So I appreciate the brother for stopping in once again. Steven said nobody in his camp got heart. They all cheaters in my book. He ain't blowing it. He fucking blew it. Great interview. I appreciate that, Steven. Denise Ward said, I concur with John Owens. James Don said, God bless you, Scotty. John Owens, same to you, my brother. Same to you. Hey, I also want to touch on another hot topic. Recently, Malik Scott came out with a text about, you know, Deontay Wilder. So therefore, it's something we had talked about coming off the February 22nd fight, possible, you know, situation with manipulation of the gloves. Let me get him back on here or whenever he dropped out. But we're gonna touch on, you know, the Deontay Wilder issue because we didn't see the same in this particular issue. But one thing about I know about John is he gonna tell it the way he see it, you know. And it's a hot topic right now, man. Deontay Wilder, you know, the email, the text going out from Malik, the situation with him going to the doctor, having lumps on his head, indentation that couldn't have came from being hit with a boxing glove. So I want to get his take on this, man. And I want you all to chime in about it too. So John, let me ask you this about Deontay Wilder. Okay, Malik Scott sent out a text and it's been out for quite some time. It's been spoken about that after the fight, Wilder went to the doctor and he had lumps on the back of his head and an indentation. And the doctor was pretty much saying it couldn't have came from straight boxing. Okay, so we all know he lost his title, but the collateral evidence that's being placed out here in social media as far as potentially, you know, his hand wrap showing on his left hand, you know, that picture has been shown in the first fight and his last fight. And also, you know, possibly Tyson Fury knuckles, you know, having his hand further down in the glove and being able to hit Deontay with his knuckles or whatever. But what I want to know from you, what do you think about this, man? I know we talked about it before. So what's your take on it, man?
All right, let's say it from both sides of the fence so that we be fair to both sides. First, they both professional fighters. There's no excuses, not on that level. There's no excuses. Wilder did prepare himself and he fought the wrong fight. Period. Tyson Fury got smart. He changed up the game. He boxed him. He didn't stand in front of him. So with loaded hands or no loaded hands, if they both knew what they were entering into, and they both knew the possibilities of who could cheat, who couldn't cheat, because one, let's take it all the way back to all the suspect. Because have you ever seen a UPS man drop off gloves the day of a fight? Your opponent gloves? Really? Let's talk about that.
Hey, people think that's regular, man. People think that happens all the time.
No, sir. Let's put it all into perspective about the whole shebang. First of all, who get gloves delivered from the UPS man at a venue? Who do that? Damn, I didn't even think UPS ran on Saturday either.
That late.
I don't know about that one. Let's talk about the hand wrap situation. It's obvious. It's obvious. Come on, Tyson Fury ain't knocked nobody how many years?
It's been a while, man, that he actually put on a performance like that, like forever.
Thank you.
Forever.
Okay.
We're gonna leave out Sefer Safari.
So is he known for power?
Nah.
The power puncher got knocked out. So they say.
Correct. So they say.
Then let's talk about the punch in the back of the head. Is it legal to punch somebody in the back of the head? No. So let's just talk about, let's not just put Wilder out there, or let's not just put Tyson Fury out there. Let's just say y'all boys gonna have to get together and give us a real part 3 so we can put away all the opinions, all the interjections, and all the conspiracy theories. Just give us a number 3 so we can shut everybody up and may the best man win. And we can be through with that, because one, nothing is going to change. We can debate that fight for the next 20 years. Tyson Fury is still WBC champ right now. That's all I can say. That record ain't, Bob Bennett ain't finna go and delete that one off of Wilder record. No.
Correct.
So all I can say is let's pray they give us a great number 3 and we move forward. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about it. I mean, I don't heard so many theories about loaded glove. He had 6. I don't. Just give us a number 3.
Hey,
and let's put everybody there.
Hey, man. Hey.
I'm trying to get closer. I'm trying to
Hey, good afternoon, Street of Twins. How you doing?
We're
Hey,
doing
how
fine.
are
How
you?
you doing?
For everyone tuned in, we have the lovely Street of Twin promotion on deck. How y'all doing today, ladies?
We're doing good.
Great.
We're
How
trying
about
to
How
open
about
this up.
yourself?
Why don't you make that bigger? Can you make it bigger? I don't know. Okay, forgive me. Okay. Hey, Scotty, how are you?
I'm fine. You know, me and John was on here talking some good stuff about Deontay Wilder and the glove gate situation.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Uh-huh.
Okay.
We was just basically talking about, you know, Deontay Wilder went to the doctor and, you know, he had lumps on his head and the indentation. And the doctor basically said that the indentation and the damage that he received wasn't something that would occur from boxing, you know, boxing gloves. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, so this is about the premise that something was in Tyson Fury's glove.
Correct. That's what
Beyond just a hot knuckle sandwich. Okay.
correct. You know, and you look at the pictures, you know, his hand wraps are showing, you know, and on his left hand. So there's some funny business going on. That was something that I truly think. I know we had this conversation, but I just want to hear y'all opinion on the whole deal too with February 22nd. You know, y'all think it was a fair fight or did Tyson Fury cheat?
Well, I'm going to say this. As far as saying Tyson Fury cheated, well, I don't have any facts in front of me to say to put that type of terrible statement on a person.
Mhm.
But one thing I can say, he came in there ready to fight. He came in there showing that he wanted to be the next champion. And he also showed some areas, he showed some weaknesses on Wilder.
Yeah.
We were able to see Wilder's weaknesses
As a boxer.
But I'm not going to say per se that he cheated, but whatever punches he threw,
they were definitely power punches.
they were definitely deadly punches.
Right.
So you're talking about Tyson Fury's punches, right?
Right.
Correct.
So I want to ask you this. I want to ask y'all this. John just said, you know, when is the last time that Fury knocked somebody out like that? And I have to, you know, concur. Like, when have we seen Tyson Fury? You just don't pick up punch at 30-something years old in your boxing career. So where did he get this power at?
From the gloves.
Well, I don't know that, but what I would say is we are 100% behind investigating anything that looks like it needs to be investigated.
Correct.
And we are 100% behind all fair fights. So if it is determined that the fight is not fair, then we certainly would be behind whatever ramifications that come from that. But we can't just, without just really specific information, we're not going to just label him a cheater. You know, I mean, I saw Tyson Fury get up from the dead during the first fight. So obviously the man has some kind of like mystical powers, a little bit, something like that. But you know, I hope that's not the case, but this is not the first time I've heard it. It's not the first time that I've heard
First or
people
second
talk about
time
it.
hearing cheating statements, you know, hearing someone say that he's a cheater or he's done some things that were questionable. I'm just gonna say this before I label a person like that or with that. I would want to have something like I could actually
more concrete evidence.
I could put my finger on to say that yes, that's what he is, or that's what happened.
Wow, I'm just so surprised we're still talking about this. Oh yeah.
Hey, what do you think, John? We talking about it because recently, okay, it was before you all came on here, Street of Twins. Deontay's, you know, family, you know, Malik Scott sent out a text, and he basically said that, you know, he's talking about the doctor's findings as far as the knots on his head and everything else, and he's basically expressing what exactly, you know, occurred with that, like how severe it was and how dirty it was for Tyson Fury. If that is true, and he loaded his gloves, how much it could have hurt Deontay Wilder. It could have ended his career. So he put the text out there, and actually, you know, Tyson Fury responded to her. I don't know if y'all heard the response yet. Have you heard it yet?
No. What was the response?
Okay, I'm gonna let you hear it right quick, and you tell me what you think. Because, you know, Deontay Wilder hasn't talked about it. He hasn't said one word about it.
Okay.
This just been all in the media.
All right.
Okay.
And John, you can chime in whenever you feel like it, my brother.
Yeah. It's to me, it's just a letter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just need to get round 3 on and get it over with. I mean, let's put the bird to bed. Whoever wins this time, let's be through with it. I mean, hey. Tyson Fury just second try.
However many times they would like to.
Well, all I want to say is that while we're waiting to see round 3, fight number 3,
the 3 feet,
they really need to be afraid of Mike Tyson. I watched his footage. He's back. He is back.
We know Tyson Fury turned Mike Tyson now.
He is fast. I would hate for them to have to fight Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is looking like he wants to come in and just set the record straight.
But at his age, can he maintain such a high level throughout a professional fight? Like, yes, I believe you can start out that way, but would he end up that way? What do you think he would lose?
So, H3 the twin. Out of the top 3 heavyweights, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, who do you think Mike Tyson will beat out of those 3?
All 3 of them.
Oh snap! What?
Oh, God.
Oh,
All three of them.
Okay.
When you have
And then
time, Dr.
Wait a
Matt,
minute. Okay, you said Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, or Joshua?
correct. Who do
Oh,
you believe?
definitely Joshua for sure.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. You didn't include Mike Tyson?
No, he said out of those three, which do you think Mike Tyson would knock out? And
all three of them.
Owen said all three. I said definitely Joshua.
I'd say all three. Because Mike Tyson is known for not just powerful arms, he's known for fast feet, quick legs, quick movement to be a heavyweight champion. I mean, to just be a heavyweight fighter. I don't think they will stand a chance. He has too many tricks up his sleeves. He's experienced, and just watching him, I was like, oh, this man is unreal. He looks
but
like
he's also
I know you're gonna say he's
no,
older.
because he and I are with.
Hey, here go the video right quick, ladies.
But he's also
What did you say,
extremely
Scotty?
seasoned.
What is
Here go the video. Here go the video right quick of Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Go.
Is it on the screen that we're looking at?
Is it on the screen we're looking at, or
No, I'm about to show it to you.
Okay.
okay?
Push it back. I think that's good right there.
Let me bring it up right quick.
Okay. Okay.
This is just a quick video to address all this foul play talk from Deontay Wilder and his team. I just read an article before saying that I might have had some blunt objects in my gloves. Yeah, 19 stone 7, 275 pound destroyers in each glove. So yeah, getting punched up the temple may do that to you, but you know, not unless Deontay Wilder's own trainer JD was in on a conspiracy as well, along with all the Las Vegas State Commission guys who never left the room.
And that was-
Can you translate
that into just
modern, everyday, standard English?
because we can't.
Not the Queen's English.
Basically, he was saying that what he knocked out Deontay Wilder with was just, you know, the knuckles that he had inside his glove, and also if there's conspiracy, that means JD's, who was over there, you know, supervising the gloves and everything, was in on the conspiracy, and the commission and the Nevada Athletic State Commission was in on it. You know, the typical stuff with, you know, they're gonna say. You know, Sugar Hill said the same thing. When the camera went out, he said he was looking at TV. And then, you know, when asked about the glove situations, he said that the commission was in there. So in between,
so nobody ever said no.
Nobody actually just answered the question with yes or no.
Correct. No one really answered the question, man.
Right.
Well,
They ain't gonna answer the question because they all look like jackasses.
What
They
I
all
always
jackasses.
say, which is probably against what
Oh, no,
everybody
H Money.
else would say, I always say, you know, this is sports entertainment. And
It
if
is.
you want purity, I would say you would have to go to look at the Olympics, basically, where you're 100% sport. But I think when we're talking about sports entertainment, sometimes, you know, for a better show, it seems like anything can go sometimes for a better show because people want to be entertained. They want us to several months later still be talking about this and going back and forth. So regardless, we were entertained. We were entertained during both fights, and, you know, just luckily, both men are okay. Both men are healthy following the fight, right? There are no residual damages to Deontay, correct?
We don't know that. Like he had an injury, that he had surgery for. But as far as his head goes, we still waiting on the documentation to come out and be made
Really?
public.
Still? Oh, well, that's worrisome.
And okay, even though you're saying that it's sports entertainment, I guess my question would be, why do we have a commission, okay, a commissioner, and why do we have rules? Even though it's entertainment, there are still guidelines, laws that's written to say that the sport is going to always be fair, and the right calls will be made. But in boxing per se, it seems like it's at the whim of the
city where they are.
No, not just the city, but the referee and the judges. It seems like, because I've seen several fights where the scoring is so off, and you're saying, where were you, ma'am or sir? Were you at the circus? Because you couldn't have possibly been at this fight.
Well, I think they have all of that, because you have to have some parameters in which to work. It can't just be a free-for-all. But when you're also adding that entertainment piece, because we know from matching fights, you still have to think about, is this going to be a good fight? Do we think it's going to be a good match? Is it going to be something that people want to see? And I do believe,
but you have to also think about safety too.
I understand that, but when we're talking about, these two men providing, and my dog agrees with me or disagrees, one of the two. These two men providing entertainment for us, both of them didn't cheat with that. It was very, very entertaining. So,
hey, when you talk about safety, I think safety would be needed if Mike Tyson stepped in there with Deontay Wilder at 53 years old.
Yes.
I think Deontay Wilder knock him out.
You see, my thing is, Mike Tyson is two winks older than I am, and I know I can start out jumping jacks really well, and then eventually I have to sit down. So I'm trying to understand, can he sustain? But even a well-oiled machine, after it runs for so long, when the new model comes out, the new model is better.
We all know John know this. Everybody look good on the mitts until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's okay till you get punched in the face.
Mike Tyson beat the boots off Deontay Wilder
at 53, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he has a great cameraman.
Mike Tyson is an Olympic gold medalist, bro. Let's not stop that. Mike Tyson is an Olympian, and Mike Tyson know how to fight. Deontay Wilder is a brawler. And okay, let's put it like this. At 53 years old, who you think hit the hardest, Tyson or Wilder?
Wilder.
You crazy.
Wilder.
You crazy.
Hands down, crazy. Wilder hit the hardest, man.
Really?
In the ring? I would say in the ring.
Really? Okay. Why you say he hit hard? Because he got more knockouts than Mike Tyson. Well, hell, if I fought taxi cab drivers and drunk Mexicans that they pulled out of bars, my first 25 fights, I'd knock everybody the hell out too. Really? Really? Okay. The motherfuckers from Coca-Cola, man, and Mountain Dew delivery drivers, white boys out of Mississippi. Who the hell can fight in Mississippi? Nobody. Nobody.
I have one question. Why do we
always
say taxi drivers or truck drivers? Are we saying
well, now I did get into it.
I didn't say it.
Once, and the driver was a boxer.
Okay.
He's not even 1%, man. Taxi cab driver.
No, they're not no 1%, man. You already know this game, Scotty, because you've been around somebody. I ain't gonna put people under the bus, but I'm just saying, skip to Malou, my darling. You already know. Scotty already know. He go to enough beer fights down in Columbia, South Carolina. That trash. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. They down there fighting taxi cab drivers, goddamn Uber drivers, goddamn part-time nurses, motherfucking med school, need lunch for the week. Yeah, they down there in South Carolina fighting bums. Goddamn bums. Yeah, I said it.
But
Yeah,
we talking about on the elite level, man. I stand by it, man. Mike Tyson get knocked out by Deontay, man.
man, you already know better than that. You already know better than that.
If
Okay.
we're gonna say that he'll knock that Wilder would knock Mike Tyson out, I would say this to make it better. Both of them would be knocking each other out at the same time.
I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you, but I have to stand on my square, man. You know, I just think, you know, where Deontay Wilder at in his career and Mike Tyson coming back from a hiatus, I just think it takes a while to get your rhythm back and your timing and everything to step back through those ropes. And Mike Tyson been smoking too.
Smoking what?
Marijuana.
Oh,
smoking Wilder. He been smoking Wilder. He been smoking Wilder. Smoking Wilder. Smoking Wilder. Smoking Wilder ass in theory. If you say Wilder stop him, Sky, well, why did Tyson Fury come out publicly and say, "Oh, I have so much to lose. I don't want to fight Mike Tyson because I have so much to lose." No, you can't get your ass.
Hey,
let's
John,
call that.
He ain't making the calls. Fury ain't making the calls, man. He's trying to fight Joshua. He's trying to fight Joshua.
Daddy said he would fight.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's daddy said he wanted to fight Mike Tyson.
True.
I saw that
True.
The father wanted.
John Fury. John Fury.
Yeah, it's easy to say that you want, but not so easy to say that you can. So, is his daddy getting in the ring?
No.
Anyway.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
He's gonna be a spectator like the rest of us.
That I will say is when we just look back historically at great fighters who are above and beyond reproach, a lot of them have come back after their prime and have not done as well as we remember. And then you keep coming back and you're just not as effective because eventually, you know, the ravages of time will show. And, you know, I just want everybody to be safe. And my question is why? Why come back at 53? Just why?
Hey, we had a discussion earlier while you all before you came on, and we was talking about Jarrell Miller popping dirty. And I wanted to get your input. You know, I heard what John had to say, but Jarrell has popped dirty for the third time while competing as a professional boxer. As a kickboxer, he tested positive twice. What is your take on that? As far as Jarrell Miller and being the sport of boxing, allowing fighters to commit criminality and then still obtain a boxing license once their suspension has subsided?
Well, I guess the question would be, was it an actual drug or was it like he was taking a prescribed substance?
No, this was a drug.
A medical condition.
So you mean an actual performance enhancing drug for real?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I had the fighter on here earlier, Forrest, who John is familiar with, and him and his team requested a drug test of Jarrell Miller, and it came back positive again.
Oh, wow.
Again.
So he was pulled from the card this week, and his Forrest opponent was replaced with Carlos Takam, the same Carlos Takam who's been in there with Povetkin, Joshua, all them guys. So it's gonna be a good fight. But to my question, it's legit. He popped positive PEDs.
So this is 3 times, right?
His third time as a professional boxer.
Maybe he
in a lot of things.
Rehab.
Yeah, 3 times you're out, and it seems like he, really has some chronic use there, and especially when you know a fight is coming up. It didn't just pop up on you. You know the fight's coming up, so that means that you had time to prepare. So he must have been going, through the rounds of steroids or whatever enough to where he couldn't even get off of it long enough to, test clean. So I think that's definitely a problem.
He need to go to the couch with Dr. K, for real.
Yeah, because there is a psychological element, especially if he's using steroids and things of that nature, that it can kind of change your mood, and maybe he feels dependent on it. Maybe it makes him feel stronger. I'm not sure, but to jeopardize your career like that would indicate some degree of dependence to me. Because when we're deciding whether or not someone has a true diagnosis or disability, we look at to what degree does that behavior interfere with your ability to live your life. So if he has tested positive 3 times, which means it's interfering with his ability to earn a living, that's a problem.
Hey, sound words.
He needs to focus on, being clean and sober before he's looking at boxing.
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment.
Should have a tune-up before a Fury rematch, or should he dive back in?
Yeah, John. Steven asked you this question
before.
Does Owens think Wilder should have a tune-up before Fury rematch, or should he just go right back to it since he's contractually bonded?
Go right back to it.
I think he should be 100% healthy. We still don't know what happened.
Well,
no tune-up fight. I don't
think he needs a tune-up. I mean,
no, he don't need no tune-up. It's just a question. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the live chat is chiming in, so they're just asking the question.
I think he needs to get in a lot of. He needs to get a lot of sparring in to prepare for Fury, and
he needs to develop a new strategy.
Yeah.
For handling Fury, because his strategy was the same as it was last time. At least that's how it looked. So if he is sparring in the same way as he did last time, I don't know that that's going to.
No, when I say sparring with different boxers,
with different techniques,
to make him have to use more footwork, more boxing, not just straight out power punches.
Yeah, put more tricks in his bag.
Okay, put more tricks in his bag. From my understanding, George Foreman's supposed to be on, giving, as his advisor. George Foreman's going to be an advisor leading up to this fight.
Okay.
They couldn't get Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson wouldn't be a good fit for anything with Deontay Wilder. I don't think they really have good communication.
That's true. What about Holyfield? Well, would Holyfield be able to communicate?
I'm pretty sure. Holyfield from Alabama. He truly supports Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure he's called Deontay up, but who knows?
Well, I saw a footage. When Wilder's brother Marcellus, he was at the MGM, just getting, warming up some out in the not in the lobby part of the where the rooms are, the little area.
Yeah.
And the foyer, yeah. And Holyfield was standing up there watching, but he didn't know that was Marcellus Wilder until they said that's Wilder. He was like, oh. And then he started critiquing him. And,
okay.
That was a good footage.
What year was this?
This was not too long ago.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
The last fight, yeah, he was warming up with his with his coach, and Holyfield was standing out there watching. And then when they took, he was like, "Oh man, I should have known," you know.
That's what's up. The live chat say Miller doesn't trust his ability. That's why he cheats. That's from Fat Daddy. Denise said no tune up.
He's saying that Deontay cheats.
No.
Huh? No. He said Miller doesn't trust his ability. That's why he cheats. Jarrell Miller.
Oh, okay.
Right. And that's a mental thing.
Yeah.
That has something to do with a lack of, self-confidence. And so maybe he needs to go back to the drawing board and really build himself up mentally so that then he can build himself up physically, because that's truly a problem if he continues to use and it's interfering with his ability to actually fight.
Good stuff. H Money, Mr. Zone said no tune-ups. All we need is a new trainer. Tyson Fury ain't nothing but a cheat.
Woo. He went straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has treated before, but if Deontay Wilder would have had any type of record of cheating, being kicked out of the sport for PEDs, cocaine, I don't think he would have been in the position he would have been right now with the title.
They would have ruined him right then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They would have.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's an African American, unfortunately. That would have been just the case.
What should be the consequence for Jarrell Miller popping positive a third straight time in boxing?
I think he needs to be sent to rehab, like how they would do just a regular person who works a job. They give them a chance to straighten up their life.
But the punishment, though, what should the punishment do?
Right.
Look, check this out.
That's an intervention.
Okay.
Check this out.
What would be the punishment in terms of?
He need to be banned.
Like, okay, I was going to say, some people would think that he needs to be banned for life. I guess. I think what I would do is look across other sports to see what would be comparable. Like, has in other sports, what do they do? Is it 3 times you're out, or 3 times you're out until you can get yourself together so many times? I'm always for the underdog. So I would feel that if he tested positive 3 times, that he would have to test negative 3 random times before he's allowed back in, over a period of time, so that they can make sure that he's fighting fair and fighting clean.
I say that he needs to be banned.
John says make a letter.
Okay.
Or make
because
it,
5 times.
Oh, so I thought I heard 3. You said 5?
No, 5.
5 times. He competed as a kickboxer before he became a boxer. So a total of 5 times.
Okay.
2 times as a kickboxer.
5 times, right?
That sounds like
5 times. 5 times you have done this 5 times. So the first time you were slightly off. The second time you were slightly dumb. The third time you were slightly stupid. The 4th time you just a jackass, and the 5th time you just slap nut. So you need to go because you ain't got no sense.
Okay.
$5 million. $5 million.
Wow.
You think that I'm gonna piss dirty 3 times? $5 million. That's $15 million. Most people want to make $1 million in their lifetime. And what you pissing dirty for? You about to be rich, dummy.
That sounds like an addiction, a true problem, because it's really interfering with his ability to live his regular life. So it sounds like he, really has a problem with that.
I believe
it. Maybe competitive sports is not best for his mental health. That's not.
My dad said, bad habits in boxers are the most difficult thing to change, whether it's technique or drug abuse, without professional help. Denise said,
that's a lie. That's a lie.
What, bad habits in boxers are most difficult to change?
That's a lie.
Okay.
Speak on it. Elaborate.
Desire, man. Listen here. every man and woman on the face of this earth was given some morals, they was given some values, and they was given drive and determination. The problem is people lack honor and integrity. If your ass got the word, okay, we on the phone with a doctor now. The world need to know we on the phone with a doctor now. A doctor. So you telling me it's all about your wants and your desires, because one, whatever you want to do in your life, if it's professional or whatever it is, you're going to carry yourself with a certain amount of pride. So all that bad habits, no, man. Your decisions and your ways is running wild, because life is a choice, a decision. Your choice is just running wild. Because one, if you tell a man, hey, I want you to do X, Y, Z. If you can't do X, Y, Z, you ain't worried or you ain't qualified anyway. So it got nothing to do with bad habits. You really don't.
But you know something, I think the sport of boxing, they don't try to use all of the resources that's available. That's why it's so important to me for them to have life coaching or psychologists or psychiatrists to help those boxers along the way, because I'm not going to say all of them, some come with baggage. That doesn't mean that they're not great at their sport, but it means that they may need some type of assistance, mental assistance, to help them perfect or be a champion in that craft. And all of the other sports like basketball, football, tennis, soccer, I believe, and also golf, they have
sports psychology.
Yeah, well, it's available to them. It's a known thing. And I think there is a taboo with boxers and getting some mental help or mental conditioning.
Right. And boxing is definitely a cerebral sport. I mean, it is a mental sport. And if you come in, you hear a lot of boxers, you know, say things like, my mind wasn't right. I just had a lot of stuff on my mind. I had things going on. So if you're not concentrating, if you don't have your mind right, even though you're a physical specimen, you really can mess yourself up. And so someone who has some type of dependence on substances, you know, it's hard for me to say for him specifically, because I would have to really know more about his background to give him any type of label. But, you know, if he's one of those people who was like kind of born an addict, yes, you have to make decisions, but it's really difficult. It's not something that's easy to do. And I think he would really need to work on that first before moving on with this sport, which, you know, he may or may not have enough time to even get that straight first. But yeah, mentally, you really, really have to be able to focus. Really, that's why whenever I'm looking at fighters and they're walking in, I say to Randa, usually by the time they get through the ropes, I can say, oh, he's going to win or he's going to lose, because I'm looking at different things. I'm looking at their attitude and how their faces look and whether or not they seem to really be, you know, concentrating and focused. Because if you're unfocused, I can see where you can really, really get hurt. Really get hurt. So I do believe that your brain is your best muscle. And if that muscle is weak, you're going to have a lot of problems.
I'm surprised you was able to you know, assess all that, Dr. K, sitting ringside taking pictures with everybody.
Jarrell Miller, Jarrell Miller is a cheater. There ain't no hope for him. There's no help for him. This is why. At the level of fighting that Jarrell Miller is on, he have people that go to the store for him and fix his supplement. Now, he didn't check to see if the substance he was taking was banned. So it falls on his representation. You got a dumb promoter, you got a dumb manager, and you got some dumbass trainers. Because one, Everybody know that you can't go to GNC and just be slanging dollars out the window buying
The different
supplements,
supplements.
taking zinc and iron, and taking shots. Everybody
Okay.
know this now.
Right, and that's why I think it's a true
Steroids
problem because
is banned.
he could be at the point now where he feels like he has to have that to feel normal or to feel like he's at a competitive level. So it may be, a mental dependence on it right now.
I think he has an eating disorder too. So he kind of has the steroids.
Okay, so he has that kind of addictive sort of. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's came over 314. He's fought at 314 before, so he has to have an eating problem. So the steroids might be something to equalize, to something, to keep him in shape, so he won't get, into the 360s or the 380s. It'll allow him to go to the gym and have that energy.
Right, I understand.
Didn't Antonio Tarver, didn't he have a drug issue too?
I don't think so. I mean, him popping positive one time isn't a drug issue, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
Oh, you're talking about outside the ring.
Yeah.
No, drug problem can be PEDs, or something outside, like all the clinical, the synthetic drugs and all that. So which one are you talking about? PEDs or cocaine and stuff like that?
Both.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure before I even cracked my lips to say it, but he might have had a drug problem outside the ring. I'm not sure. If anybody in the live chat know that, just drop it in there. Antonio Tarver had that issue.
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly see, because sometimes what you'll find is they really have a psychological issue or some type of mental illness, which, now we're really trying to take away the stigma of mental illness, and depression and anxiety. Those are run-of-the-mill types of mental illnesses that a lot of people experience. Those are mood disorders. And sometimes someone will have an underlying mood disorder and they're actually treating it with the wrong thing.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Like they may be treating a mood disorder with alcohol because they think it makes them feel better, which is actually a depressant, or I hear people who have anxiety disorders, and they say that when they smoke marijuana, it makes them feel calmer. And depending on your stance on marijuana, you may or may not agree with using it to address something of that nature. So he could be using the steroids to address, a real psychological issue.
Fat Daddy the trucker said they should be banned because the sport is violent. Well, yeah, okay.
James Butler. I remember James Butler went to prison because he's the one that he had lost to Richard. I believe his name was Richard Franklin. I think I'm not sure, but I know James Butler, after the fight, he ended up losing for a second time, and Richard was walking up to James to shake his hand, and he still had, they still had the hand wraps on, and James Butler punched him, sucker punched him, and they took him out the ring immediately. He faced criminal actions. I think he went to prison for several years.
Oh wow!
Wow!
For that, though, he was still allowed to come back to boxing.
Eventually, after he did his
after he served his time, he came back to boxing and fought.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I'm more of the belief that if you do your time and you go through the treatment, you handle the punishment, and you're truly able to mend your ways and to do something different, then you should be given a shot. But you would have to prove that change has actually occurred.
Jarrell Miller has had shots in the ass, shots everywhere in the ring, everything.
Whoa! I wasn't ready for that one.
I'm just saying he had his shots.
Right.
I'm just saying he need to be banned, man. He need to be banned because one, we have to think about being in humanity, man. These are two men that can possibly kill each other with one punch.
Right.
Now his punch juiced up. No, because one, you want both of them to be safe. You want to be entertained by a fight, but you want both of them to be able to walk and talk to their kids, their wives, or their girlfriend, or their mothers, or their siblings. But when you juicing yourself, you already weigh almost 400 pounds. What do you need steroids for? What?
Right.
I think just to get him motivated to train, man, because I think he has an eating disorder, man. I think he might be a little lazy.
Well, and an eating disorder is a psychological issue. It's not just a physical issue. So if he has an eating disorder and we're talking about the energy to get up and do something, it could be some, underlying depression or just, some counseling may help him. And I definitely, since he has such a track record of usage, I would definitely want to see a track record of him being clean before even considering letting him back. But I have a question for you guys. Is there a way to be using drugs, performance enhancing drugs, and it not be caught? Because that would be my question. Like if he's able to slip one in there and we know he has a history of using it, then I would say, yes, he should be banned because now he's a danger not only to himself, but to other fighters as well. So are there some sneaky ones that can sneak through the drug screening process?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But
It depends on if it's urine or blood. It depends
I
on
won't say it over the phone.
Okay.
I won't say it over the phone.
Yeah,
I don't
might
want
need to be
nobody
out
to
of
get
there.
busted. But it's
I
one
wouldn't want my fighter to fight him.
every day. It's one every day. I ain't gonna say who. I ain't gonna say the people or the group of people that's using this. But I'm just telling fighters, beware of the Cialis user, the Viagra user, the crunch monkey, the black rhino. Yeah.
Did you say crunch monkey? Yes, he said crunch.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Not chunky monkey like ice cream.
No, crunch monkey. It's a male enhancement drug.
Oh.
They said at the same time, so they gonna look that up.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to put everybody tricks out. It's not nobody tricks, but what I'm saying the people is you have people that use male enhancement drugs for more than sex. What does a male enhancement drug do to you? Power comes from
blood flow.
Thank you. And power comes from your testicles. That's what. Right. Excuse me, women. I don't mean no disrespect.
Yeah, because I was like,
you didn't know that? Yeah. Oh.
It comes from
obviously
woman,
you would have to be able to get power from somewhere else too. Since women are also powerful and have forget that whole thing. Forget it.
So
yeah.
If it's coming from your testicles or your nuts, however you want to put it politically correct, if it's coming from your groin, so that's politically correct.
Okay.
You major blood flow. When major blood flow is circulating through your body, you like the Energizer Bunny. Can't nobody stop you because adrenaline and blood flow, that's dangerous.
Right.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I'm not saying that boxers using using male enhancement drugs, but I'm just saying a male enhancement drug you can get it with prescription or you can buy it over the top of the counter. So
So
there's urine and blood.
Using something that is legal, but using it in an illegal way.
Well, there's plenty of supplements that's on the ban list for boxing. You know what I'm saying? So if it's legal for the average male that's not competing in the sport, cool, yeah, you can get it.
Right.
But for a boxer, there's a lot of supplements that's on the list
Right.
of banned supplements. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So Freddie, who just wants to pop one for the night, he might be okay, but a boxer, no. Gotcha.
Hey, you know, he might want to go to the gym first and then go over to girl house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, we don't have to have the whole thing still.
Fat Daddy said the issue with individuals struggling with addiction is that they usually there's an underlying mental health issue, just like you said, Dr. K.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's why I really believe that he needs help. You know, rehabilitation would be really good. I think just based on a little bit of information that I have, that he really needs to focus on his sobriety first. And, you know, because his life could be in danger, or at the very least, his mental healthiness.
Well, can I shoot a disclaimer out there? Advertisement. We need to go to a short advertising commercial. But for any of y'all boxers that need a real doctor on your team, she's only available now for free. And 40 more minutes is running out, and it's gonna be a large fee. I'm telling you. The bill has run. Let's go.
That's the truth. Hey, that's the truth.
I am available.
So y'all look them up. Street of Twin Promotions. Look her up. You know what I'm saying? She can give you some good advice, man. But it ain't for free.
It ain't for free. It ain't for free.
You can find K Streeter 5 at AOL. I know that's old, but it works. AOL.com.
Or on Facebook. They go
Yeah.
on the couch. They go on the couch with Dr. K.
Yeah. Facebook, if you like that, on the couch with Dr. K.
Or if you can't
Ran the
find
street and get your sister. You heard what your sister said.
Streeter, and I can lead you to Dr. K.
Yeah. And especially in this era of COVID-19, we really have become quite capable of doing therapy online through some really good formats that are HIPAA compliant, which means that all of your information is safe. It's just as safe as actually walking into an office. And we know that, you know, there are some people who just will never darken the doorway of a therapist's office. And now this is a way to get it done in the comfort of whatever surroundings you prefer. And, you know, to actually get the help that you need in a way that may feel more comfortable than actually being there in person. So we're definitely open for that.
And it's needed.
Yeah,
it's
it
needed.
is. It is.
What
You know,
were you saying
I
now?
say this to Randa all the time. How many people wake up and say, you know what? What I would like to do for the rest of my life is get hit in the face. Like, I just feel like that's just not the normal thing that people wake up and say. So I just feel like, we might want to talk about that a little bit. You know, so because everybody has something they can talk about to a therapist. I always tell people, hey, if you have the money, kitty pie. If you have the money in your budget, if you have the time in your insurance plan, and most people don't realize they get several sessions for only a copay, usually within your insurance plan. Even if you have Obamacare, that you should gift yourself with that, because being able to talk with someone about whatever in a confidential, non-judgmental setting is truly a gift that that you should give yourself. A lot of people actually, they may not enjoy it from the beginning, but at the end, they think it was a great choice.
I know how to get you out of here. You won't want me to take that pacifier, do you? Yeah, you going now. Yeah.
Hey, John, what were you saying earlier about what Rhonda said?
So what Rhonda said? Oh, I was speaking at Dr. K.
Oh, okay.
When she said, I know it's AOL and that's old. That's really
AOL. I've had it for forever, but people know I had a student try to
America
contact
Online.
me from wow, like 20 years ago because I was a doctor at the age of 2, and this person tried to contact me through the same email address. So yes, it's worth it to have the same email address over the years.
That makes sense. So do you think changing subject about Errol Spence, coming back or what have you, do you think that his accident and what he was involved in, do you think the amount of time that he's taken to return to the sport of boxing is ample? You know what I'm saying? For him to come back from such a horrific car accident and to go back into the hurt business where he's going to be punched in the face. Because right now, the last word he kind of gave was that he was waiting for the clearance to begin sparring. It wasn't because he wasn't CTE approved or anything like that. All the scans and everything was good. He was just waiting for the implant screws to heal in his mouth so he can get his teeth or whatever. But as far as his accident, yeah, because in the accident he knocked out some teeth, so he had to get implants and everything.
Yeah,
So
he looks heavier.
Does he?
Yeah. From what I understand, he's cutting weight pretty good right now.
But he's still training. Yeah.
Yeah, he's training, but he ain't sparring.
Different angle. That's a
How old
traumatic
is he?
situation, and I would be interested in how has he recuperated mentally from that. As long as he's not really suffering any, PTSD symptoms that he cannot control, then if physically he's checked out, then I would be okay. But I certainly would not skimp on the time. I would err on the side of caution rather than going in too soon. I would rather him, wait and go in because, some of those injuries, when you have an injury, your body, even though I know these are well-tuned athletes, but sometimes you really don't feel back right until a year, even though I know they can heal quicker, but it's just really, really, traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Hey, shout out to D-Ray in the building. Fat Daddy said athletes that want to cheat are taught how to cheat. They get caught because the strength of each shot differs, even if it's the same dosage when they miss a cycle window.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do know you have the little cycle. So.
Well,
Wow.
Well, Danny Garcia is the right person to come back against.
So you trying to say Danny Garcia is a soft touch man?
That's what you're saying.
Listen.
Okay.
Let's understand this. And Earl Spence's name fits him, the truth.
Okay.
Earl Spence walk around like 187. Well, a man to cut 40 pounds before a fight, he in immaculate shape. So what I'm saying is Danny Garcia, Earl Spence is fighting in the right weight class because he's naturally cruiserweight walking around.
Okay.
So just imagine dropping 40 pounds to fight a Joker. So he dropped the 40 pounds on that Friday, right?
Who did?
So
Errol Spence.
when Earl Spence fought Mike Garcia, he dropped 40 pounds in an 8-week period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So after hydration, let's see how thick he is on maybe 168, 171. So he got the advantage always.
Talking about Mikey?
No. He's talking
No,
about.
we're talking about Errol Spence when he fought Mikey Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, because people
So
were
he
talking
dropped
about.
He mentioned
40
Danny
pounds.
Garcia.
No,
Are you talking about Danny Garcia or
we're
Mikey
talking
Garcia?
about both.
No, when he fought Mikey Garcia in Dallas, Texas, he was weighing
Okay.
He was
187
huge.
8-week period.
Yeah,
He
and they
dropped
talked
40
about that
pounds.
he was so big.
He's
And
bigger
that's
than
why
him. Naturally, he's bigger than them. He's bigger than them, naturally.
Yeah.
So none of them will be no threat to him because they ain't possessing the type of power that he's punching them with.
Right.
Everybody he done fought, he done been bigger than. So he had an accident. So yeah, get him Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia can't get the hell out the way of what that 171-pound on fight night gonna be hitting him in the face with.
So you're saying this is almost like a tune-up.
That's it.
Gotcha.
Danny Garcia is finished. He done.
Wow.
He done. He been in too many wars.
Well,
He been in too many
like
wars.
Danny, but
So he Brian Rios right now, huh?
I remember being
Yeah.
at the press conference, and
Brandon Rios.
when he lost that fight, his daddy was like, when he lost against Sean Porter.
Keith Thurman. Oh, yeah, okay.
Sean Porter.
No, when Danny lost against Sean Porter, that's when Danny's daddy said, well, I guess we'll go back to doing something else.
Yeah.
Because one, let's understand the demographics of boxing. None of those cats over there can really fight. None of them can.
Over where?
Like on the PVC, they got one style. You got to make them come get you, because whether people know it or not, Sean Porter might be not so likable, but he exposed Errol Spence in a way that nobody has ever been able to do. Meaning that he made Errol Spence come and get it.
Sean Porter
And he fought it.
comes out doing cartwheels and flips.
Yeah, and I like him as a person. I think he's a nice guy.
And everything else.
You have to be ready, because he's ready for you. When he comes, he's coming.
Well, he's all over the place. You don't know what he's gonna do. You're like, what?
He's like, and I'm back. Hey. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
I remember when Adrian Broner lost against Sean Porter.
Yeah.
He was at that fight.
Oh my goodness.
And we were like, wait a minute.
Is that when Adrian Broner did the backwards punch? Remember that fight?
He's done that several times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. That's at least
that was an easy go for Sean Porter. He pretty much dominated that fight. Yeah. I mean, even though Adrian Broner dropped Sean Porter in the 12th round, still it was a domination.
Wait a minute, Adrian or Errol Spence?
No, Adrian Broner, when he fought Sean Porter, he dropped him in the 12th round.
Yeah, but he didn't. Adrian Broner didn't win.
No, he got washed. You know, he pretty much got dominated the whole fight though.
Yeah.
I think Sean Porter might have fell asleep a little bit. You know, he was so ahead on the scorecards. He probably got complacent.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
But I'm gonna tell you the biggest fight in boxing, if it ever happened, is two big fights in boxing that can happen, but they won't let them happen.
Is what?
Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia like a tune-up. But the fight that Errol Spence is gonna have to fight to cement his legacy is gonna be Terrence Crawford. He's gonna have to fight Terrence Crawford.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Terrence Crawford,
yes.
There have been some discussions within my household about Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao.
Terrence Crawford killed Pacquiao. He killed him.
That's what I've heard.
Pacquiao really needs to sit down. Pacquiao's just a big, you know, and he helps a fighter get to their monetary goal.
And to get him to his monetary goal, and he can take a little, he can take a pause from the Senate.
but he comes in ready to fight. You have to give him his.
I think for him, he's like, well, this is a job. Let's get ready for work. Goes in, does his job, and gets his money.
But you know something, John?
People love
Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, yes, that would be fantastic, along with Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. I mean, if they want to have the best people fighting,
Clarissa,
let's have the best men and women
fighting together.
That would be a mega fight.
That would be
for real.
Awesome.
And
that would be a real fight.
Get their the best paycheck that they could ever get.
Yeah.
To me.
That wouldn't be a real fight.
Huh?
That wouldn't be a real fight. No, it wouldn't.
Why not?
One, it depends on which Layla Ali gonna show up.
Oh Lord.
Oh, okay.
I do it. So which one? How many Laylas are there?
It's two. Like Layla Ali, old as hell. She ain't fought in like 20 years.
Okay.
Like if the Layla Ali show up, back in the day when she really was raising hell, when she was in her prime,
Right.
Clarissa Shields would have a problem.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if the old Layla Ali show up, Clarissa Shields would beat her ass to sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
It
talking
all
about old
depends
Layla
on
Ali
what-
now? Because she undefeated. Layla Ali is undefeated, right?
Yeah, she is.
But
She ain't boxing like 20 years.
Correct.
Clarissa's
And
undefeated.
she like 4 kids removed from boxing, like 4 grown ass kids.
Yeah.
But the one thing we do know, Clarissa Shields has 2 knockouts though.
We know that, but she got some youth. Let me tell you something. I can get in the ring.
Okay, no. Let
George
Right
Foreman
now.
beat Michael Moore. Let's not forget George Foreman beat Hop.
Let's go back in time and let's not be sexist about this. Why are we saying, oh, Mike Tyson is 53 and he can punch, but because Layla Ali is up in age and has had 4 kids, now she's gonna get knocked down.
Oh,
Now maybe having 4 kids.
No, I'm not being sexist. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right here. Layla Ali does not exercise like Mike Tyson exercise. It's a difference.
She's in shape though. She's in shape. Layla's in
I
shape.
know what she do. She making pots and pans in Atlanta. She go doing all them cook shows, flipping all them houses in Atlanta, making all that money, making the moves. That's what she doing.
She's healthy down here, bro.
Mike Tyson has been doing comedy shows and movies and shopping at Versace.
But you ain't. But y'all ain't heard what I said. I gave credit to Layla Ali. I said to Randa, it depends on which Layla Ali shows up. If the Layla Ali from old, like she was built like her dad,
Tyson shows up. And
the crazy one, that he gonna bite the hell out of the Wilder if he hit him wrong. The one with the tattoo on his face, not the one from the 80s, gonna show up. The one with the cannibal gonna show up. The one that like to bite ears and hit nuts. That's the one gonna show up.
Well,
I thought we
I
were
just
gonna
wanted
mention
to
that
point
here.
out the sexism in your thinking, sir. That's all.
And hey, and
Layla Ali whoop Clarissa Shields' ass because Clarissa Shields ain't got no power. She ain't got no power. But I'm just saying.
now Clarissa, but
You
now
wanna talk
Clarissa
to-
says she has a lot of power.
2 knockouts? I can't tell.
Okay.
2 knockouts out of 10 fights. Come on, man.
2 knockouts. She ain't got no power at all. She ain't got nothing.
Layla Ali had like what? How many knockouts? She had more than 15.
I thought she had 0 knockouts.
Layla's kind of bigger than she is.
No, Layla Ali she had more knockouts than Clarissa Shields though.
But
Yeah. And Layla Ali's shoulders is much broader and she was much bigger too.
But I know she's won.
Yeah.
Layla Ali much more bigger and much more built than her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She way more thicker than her. Like
yeah, Layla Ali father the heavyweight class for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I won't want no problem with Layla Ali. I don't care how old you are. I won't want no problem with her. I won't really want no problem with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she looked like
Layla Ali has 21 knockouts, y'all. 21 knockouts now.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you something about Clarissa Shields. Now, this is why I'm saying I'm not being sexist, Dr. K. Why ain't nobody called out Ann Wolf? Why ain't nobody called out the Wolf lady?
Man, Ann Wolf ain't coming back to the sport for nothing.
How she was done.
But I thought that wasn't that the fight that Layla wanted. She wanted to fight Ann Wolf, and Ann Wolf ran away from.
Ann Wolf ran from Layla Ali. I don't think so. Not Ann Wolf. Yeah. Ann Wolf is absolutely about that smoke.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, like, do you think they'll ever let women and guys fight each other professionally?
I think if they're like featherweight.
I mean, we keep on seeing repeat drug offenders beat each other up, and they're gonna fuck around. They're gonna fuck around and goddamn schedule a match Look, they did that
But you know
before.
something, you all did. That's a good question because you have to think about the LGBT
Yeah,
community.
I was gonna say, what about
transgender.
transgender and
It's
all
gonna
of that?
it's gonna pop up sooner
Yeah,
or later.
I think it's gonna have to start going to weight class, period. Like,
Well, if you're talking about in that perspective, track, we have track, of course, in the college ranks and the professional track and field, and then you also have, I think, a couple of fighters over in the mixed martial art. But I
okay,
don't know for certain about boxing. I don't know for certain about that transgender being in boxing just yet.
Okay. But
And even if it did, they still gonna get their ass whooped. They step in there with a man.
you can have
I'm gonna
transgender
leave that
men
alone.
and women.
I'm gonna
Man,
leave that alone.
transgender men step in there with a woman, he gonna beat their ass. If a woman step in there with a man, they gonna get their ass whooped. It's just the way it is.
Oh, so wait, okay. See, now I got it. Okay, so you're trying to say that testosterone is just better than estrogen?
Oh,
What
hell.
about
It's
moms
proven.
who
It's
Oh,
go
hell,
hard
Scotty.
trying to get
You better be
kids?
careful, Scotty. Scotty, you better be careful. You better be careful.
no, look.
You
I'm going
better be
strictly
Equal
off.
careful with
rights
that
for
thing.
all hormones.
Hey, check this out, Dr. K.
Yes, sir.
I'm going strictly off the mixed martial arts. Let's say the mixed martial
Okay.
arts. The transgender man who went over here to fight the women, and all he's been doing is whooping their ass, and people complaining about it. But yet they approved him to go over there and fight women, and he
Okay,
still,
wait. Hold on. Are you saying when you say transgender man,
yeah.
are you saying, are you meaning
A man that
transgender
turned from a
woman?
man. No, a man that turned to a woman.
Right, a man that turns to a woman is a transgender woman.
Okay, transgender woman goes over and fight the women, and he's
Right.
whooping their ass. And no one, and everybody's mad about him being approved to fight in that.
Because
Right.
she still has some of the characteristics of the man.
I believe, yeah, absolutely.
But everybody, wait, hold on now. All people in general have estrogen and testosterone. All people do. There is no definitive difference between males and females. It's on a continuum. So it's that's not necessarily fair to say that there are some people, women, who are just born more with more masculine characteristics than other women, just like there's some men who are born naturally with more feminine characteristics than other men. So I don't think you can use necessarily that argument. And if you're going to talk, that's why I was saying they may have to strictly go by weight, because if you have a transgender woman fighting a cis woman, the terminology is cis, meaning a woman who was originally born as a female.
Mhm.
If you have those two and they weigh the same, then they should be about the same, because that transgender, they're taking hormones to feminize themselves.
Okay.
Correct. But you know, you seeing a transgender woman compete on a high school level of track and field, and they're dominating the sport, and they're basically taking their complaints to the higher courts to prevent this from happening, because this has been real bad in track and field lately. It's been real bad.
Well, okay, but there's also a track and field woman whom they complained about, who
From South Africa,
yeah, and they complain about her because she's great, and of course everybody's gonna complain if you constantly lose, just like they complained about black people originally. And they complained about how good we were and how naturally better we are. I just feel like we have to kind of change that way of thinking, especially when we're, starting to be more inclusive. This is Pride Month, and we're talking about Black Lives Matter and all of that. And I think as time goes on, we have to, there's going to have to be some way to be inclusive, and that's why I'm thinking maybe they just have to go on weight, because you know there are some women who can beat up some men.
Weight, height.
Of course,
weight and
of course,
height
there's
and all
women
of
that
that.
can beat up some men. Of course.
Yeah,
Your arm
because
length.
think about this: in elementary school, I remember I beat up a boy in my one fight, and my record is 1-0.
Do you have any type of validation or proof or video to that so I can speak on it?
No.
And this is my
you
first
have to
time.
just take my word
This
for
is
it.
my first time hearing about it. So we're
okay.
Question mark.
I believe you were not even in school. This was on a walk from Lakeview Elementary to my grandmother's house. And this person kept bothering me, and I asked them to leave me alone. And people who are quiet will try to murder you.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. But getting back to the mega fight of the year, I'm hoping that the fight will take place at that new arena that's opening up in Las Vegas. It's
the Raiders Stadium
and whistles and just everything.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, it's gorgeous.
I don't think it's gonna be there, Randa. To be honest, the money's not here in the US. If there's no crowd, you know, so it's gonna have to be outside the perimeter of the US to get that money.
Well, I mean, you can't really go anywhere right now. It's COVID-19, so you're not gonna have a crowd anywhere.
No, you can. There's fighters being flown in now. They just have to get approval for their visa and everything. But fighters are being flown in now. That's fact. That's fact.
Flown in out of here or flown in to the USA?
Well, if they're flying in.
They're flying in because most the UFC, for instance, in mixed martial arts, they're putting on fights. They having fighters fly in. All they had to do is get approval for their visa, and that's that.
But I thought that they have stopped people from being able to fly in or fly out because of COVID-19.
I think
I'm telling you, they're coming.
But it hasn't actually closed. I think it's just a discussion.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, little dog.
I don't know.
See, it's fighters going to Fight Island. That's in Abu Dhabi, right? Next month. And they're U.S. fighters.
You're saying they're flying out of the United States?
No, we have fighters fly in for this fight card this month. We have fighters fly in for this fight card this month, and you having fighters fly out for Fight Island next month.
This must be. Is this a top ranked fight?
No, this is the UFC.
Okay.
This is still combat sports. It's still, fall up under the travel guidelines of combat sports.
Are you talking about MMA fighting?
Correct.
Oh, I don't watch that.
But still, it has to do with travel back and forth, though. Travel in and out.
Yeah. I just never I can't get into MMA. I'm sorry.
So you don't have to apologize.
Street fighting.
I like true boxing.
They're the street fighting.
True boxing.
Hey, I got love for mixed martial arts. I got love for boxing too. You know what I'm saying? Grappling. Got love for it.
I think MMA is number one for you, and number two is boxing for you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I was watching boxing. Look, mixed martial arts only became regulated in '93 now.
Okay.
So,
but with everything that's going on, I really believe if any fights are going to, mega fights, it's either going to be at the end of the year or in 2021. Because right now things are changing every day. They still have not come up with a vaccine just yet. So, we have to listen to the scientists to make, a valid decision about, what's safe and what's best for the boxers and also for the spectators as well. And people that's working in it too. So I don't know. I'm hoping for a mega fight this year, but if it can't happen, you know, we just have to wait until 2021.
Hey, John, I want to ask you this question about Errol Spence.
Yeah.
In order for him to be considered great, what must he do? Because I had a conversation with somebody else, and you know, I don't think Errol Spence is great right now. I don't think comparable to Terrence Crawford, if he was to balance the scales, 3 division championship twice, a 2-time champion in 1 division. What does he have to do, you know, to be considered a great? Do he have to move up to 154, 160 before he retired? You know, what does he have to do?
You got to do everything.
What is everything, man?
I'm laughing at my son. You see what my son doing?
What?
Boxing. Now, which one was the real Terrence Crawford?
What?
The fight was I'm trying to hear. They're talking.
Well, we can answer it another day. We can answer that another day.
Well, no, he got to do the same thing. He got to do the same thing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can't call him great right now because stop banging on my drum, boy.
He's boxing. You get to see his son.
D-Ray, I haven't got to that yet. Undisputed in 1 division, in my opinion. Hey, D-Ray said, don't forget Undisputed. I didn't forget it, but being undisputed in 1 division. No. He talking about Errol Spence doing earning or achieving undisputed in welterweight for him to be great. And I don't think undisputed at 1 division will make him great. I don't think so.
Really? No. Everybody, when you're great, you're a multiple division champ. Paul Williams was a 3-time division champ, 147, 154, 160. Floyd Mayweather was an 8-time world champion. Manny Pacquiao, 8-time world champion. Terrence Crawford is a 3-division world champion. Come on, man. Let's start with this undisputed mess because ain't no undisputed champs out here. Nobody even respect the WBO. It's trash. Anybody can get a belt. Jeff Horn was the WBO welterweight champion, and who knocked him out? Terrence Crawford. Okay. Earl Spence.
Terrence Crawford, a 3-division champion. If he considered great right now, what else he has to do? Move up to 154? What he has to do to be considered great?
Terrence Crawford don't have to do nothing, but Al Hammond need to let Terrence Crawford fight some of his fighters. That's what they need to happen.
All right, that's what I thought. Okay.
So
you agree with me right now, Terrence Crawford has the better resume than Errol Spence.
Terrence Crawford got a better resume. Terrence Crawford is #1 pound for pound. All that Canelo bull crap, that's bullshit. The reason why I say it's bullshit, tell them to stay off the meat. Stop eating them spiked ass cows down there in Mexico. Stop doing that. That's what you damn do.
Did Jamel or Jamal Charlo call out wanting to call out Terrence Crawford? Did one of them want to fight Terrence Crawford at one time?
Yeah, and Terrence Crawford would beat the hell out of one of them.
It was some banter, slight banter between them two, you know, because the Errol Spence fight can't get made. So it was some back and forth going verbal sparring. But I like to see that fight between Terrence Crawford and Jamel Charlo. Of course.
It won't be a fight. That won't be a fight. Terrence Crawford beat his ass.
Damn, you saying the one that you talking about the Jamel who fought Tony Harrison wouldn't be a pretty decent matchup for Terrence Crawford?
Man, Jamel went that long time with Tony Harrison, who can't knock his way out of a wet paper bag with grease on the bottom of that bitch. No power at all for boxing. You ain't a different with a boxer.
About boxing,
you got beat by a boxer, man.
We talking about boxing.
I tell you what.
So you saying it was just between Jamel and Terrence? It wasn't Jamal?
No, it was just Jamel and Terrence Crawford. You know, the conversation arose with possibly, you know, Terrence Crawford was like, okay, I'm just about forgetting about this fight with Errol Spence. They ain't trying to make it. So therefore, you know, the conversation arose about him stepping up to 154 to face Jermell Charlo. And you know, they was going back and forth for a minute.
Why not Jamal? What is Jamal?
Jamal is at 160.
He can go up to 160. He'll beat Jamal ass too. Let's put it up there, man. Terrence Crawford is the cleanup man for the PBC. He will beat the shit out of Danny Garcia. He'll beat the shit out of Sean Porter. He'll beat the hell out of all of them over there. He will beat the shit out of them because they cannot fight on the level that he is fighting in, man.
We need to get that beat the shit contract on record, goddamn. We need to get that signed to beat the shit contract.
He will. Everybody know this. Listen, Terrence Crawford is the one that's most appealing in boxing because he got so many damn tricks in his bag. The man right with his right hand, but he fight left-handed. In the middle of his
tell you who I want to see fight then. Terrence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd comes back, then that'll be the main.
No, Floyd ain't gonna give him that. Hell no, Floyd ain't gonna take that.
Terrence Crawford to beat Floyd Mayweather ass.
That would be a mega fight, Scotty, because Terrence Crawford has what's his name? Warren Buffett is one of his is a part of his fan base. So
thank you. What I'm saying is Floyd Mayweather don't want that. Okay. Let's put it like this right here. And I'm gonna say some things that some people might not agree, but I'm talking strictly boxing fact. Why the hell would Floyd Mayweather fight Conor McGregor when he could have fought Earl Spence, could have fought Sean Porter, he could have fought Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao again, all the people in the world he could have fought. But you know, he don't want that smoke with Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford would beat his ass.
But you know something else, that would be a mega fight for real because Terrence Crawford has his own fan base. And when he fights in Nebraska, they sell out completely. So no one.
You got quiet, Scotty, because you know what I'm talking about.
Fan base. He has the fan base.
Yeah, Scotty got quiet because he know I'm telling the truth. He know that Terrence Crawford will whoop any one of them niggas' ass. They would beat the shit out of him. He would beat the shit out of him.
You get no cosign from this one. I cosign. I usually look into the camera so you can get a clear shot if I'm cosigning on your shit.
Okay, line them up. Jamal Charlo.
I don't think Terrence Crawford go up there and watch Jamal Charlo. No,
he will.
So Jamal is a strong fighter in my opinion, man. And I'm not saying he can't box him, but Jamal Charlo.
No. You ain't getting off the hook like that.
Hey, I just wanted to clear something up right quick.
Jamal Charlo got his ass whooped by Corball. Corball whooped Jamal Charlo ass.
Hold up
on national TV.
Fat Daddy said Floyd 5-weight division. I said 5, but John was probably talking about 8-time. You know, that's what he was, you know, talking about 8-time champion or something like that.
Hold on, wait a minute. How he's not? There we go again with this information. Floyd Mayweather is a 8th division world champion. Him and Manny Pacquiao is tied. Let me go do his history. Let's do the math. From 126 to 154. How much weight is that? Let's do that now. Let's not do that now. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. 126. Let's do the math. 126, 130, 135, 140, 147.
I'm just keeping you on your toes. That's all.
154. Because when he turned pro, what was the weight he turned pro at? 22. What's the first world title he won? He won a bantamweight title first. Let's do some math now. That's 8 weight divisions up to the top, okay? So if that's the case, Manny Pacquiao is only a 3-time world champion, if that's the case.
Right.
And we know he won 8 times. And we talking about from 118 all the way to 154. That's a good little ways up there. Ain't it?
Yeah.
We talking about from strawweight all the way to junior middleweight.
Yeah.
So the only thing Floyd ain't do is get the extra belt of the extra belt that Pacquiao got, because Pacquiao turned pro at 99 pounds. Let's put those facts out there. And both of them niggas has been pros over 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm talking about.
But you know something? In reference to him being pro, if he's helping Wilder to train for a Fury's fight, that's going to add another win to his resume, because we'll see a different fighter in the ring. I'm thinking with the assistance of Floyd, helping him to become an even better fighter. So,
You're absolutely right.
yeah.
Ain't no doubt
people
about
can
that.
say a lot of negative things about Floyd. At the end of the day, his resume is impeccable. He has made people plenty of money, and I'm not talking about just boxers per se. I'm talking about people that are able to make money while he's putting on a show. So he has shown the boxing community, to me, how you can have streams of revenue coming in from everywhere, and just be a billionaire. Well, I think everybody has gotten disconnected from the show. So I am going to sign. Scotty, are you there?
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I don't know what happened with that.
At
John
first,
must
I
have
was just
left.
talking. I was looking, nobody was there, and I said, "Well, I guess I'm going to sign off."
No, it's good. If give me your last words there, Randa. I appreciate it. You know that you stopping by, you and Dr. K, as always. You
Oh
know,
yes, and Dr.
um,
K had to answer another call right quick, but I can
yeah, we
speak for her.
understand you're busy. For those of you that tuned in, you know these are two prominent figures in the sport of boxing. I know boxing has been shut down due to the pandemic, but yeah, the Street of Twin promotions have been in the game for quite some time, and also I've learned a lot about how the sport is ran too. Had the opportunity of visiting several fight cards with these ladies. They know they boxing, and also you should be sooner or later down the line, you should be able to see them putting on fights locally in the Memphis footprint. You know, but they do deal heavily, you know, with individuals that's running with PBC and Showtime and all that. So it's been an absolute pleasure to have y'all on deck once again. We definitely got to do it more times than none. I had to call y'all up because it was a pandemic, and I was like, I wonder how they doing. And
I'm glad you thought. I'm glad you thought about us. You know, we think about you. We think about everybody.
I need some chicken broth soup though, Randa. You know what I'm saying? I need some, you know, that soup, boy. It calms everything down. Get rid of the COVID.
It really does.
It get rid of
calms
the COVID,
everything down.
everything. I need some of that.
Oh yes. I wonder what was that? Oh, that was you.
No.
Oh, what did that fall? Oh, okay, wow. But Scotty, I think these shows are really good. It keeps fans of boxing aware of what's going on and what's about to happen in the future. And we appreciate you thinking of us and wanting us to be a part of your panel on tonight.
All the time.
I always do.
All the time. You know what it is. Anytime the invitation is open. And I look forward to that homemade chicken broth soup, hand delivered. hand delivered. You know, I have enough room up in the mansion, you know, in case you can't drive back in one day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when I do make it, I'm gonna see how I can send it to you so you can have a big bowl of chicken. Well, we call it chicken and dumplings or homemade chicken noodle soup. I
know it's gonna taste good. Absolutely.
Yes, it is. It really is good. It really is good. You was thinking about making. Kay was just saying she was thinking about making some chicken and dumplings because it keeps you healthy. It's good for the body.
Yes, it is. Makes the body good.
And you have to use all fresh ingredients.
I mean, yeah, good.
Absolutely. Any final words there, Dr. K?
Thank you for having us on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a blast as always.
Hey, thank you, ladies, for tuning in to World Combat Sports. We shall do this again. And also, I look forward. Hope y'all back on the scene real soon, ladies, with the boxing. So you can get that amateur card, professional card, you know, into the works. And you know, I'm gonna miss seeing y'all on the front row of ringside, you know, taking pictures with everybody that's seated in the VIP session.
Yeah.
You know.
But I forgot to tell you, Scotty, we just want to tell America and the world Black Lives Matter. And we love all people.
All people.
This is Pride Month or Pride Year. So we're in what? No,
it's Pride Month.
Well, I thought
it's Pride every year, but this particular month.
But there are different months for different.
Well, the TV says it's this month.
Oh, okay. Well, inclusivity is very important to us.
Yes, it is. So
we know that's right. We know that's right. All right, then y'all take it easy. Salute and thanks for tuning in, ladies.
All right.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
I appreciate everybody that's been in the live chat, man. Wasn't able to read all of them. He beats Floyd now Pretty Boy. The hell now, 300 mil. That's why he fought McGregor. Man, Terrence Crawford beat Floyd now. Floyd didn't fight at 164. Manny got titles, lower weight class. Earlier, I was saying he was a 5-division champion. That's what I was saying about Floyd. I wasn't saying, you know, he has 8-time champion. I was saying he was a 5-division champion. Hey, if Lion Killer, you want to jump on, cool. Hey, Marcus, I see you in the building. I don't know if you're still at work. You want to jump on here, man? The link is in the chat. But whoever jumps on here on this chat, you need to show your face. I'm talking about if I don't know you. I know 2 of them, but you need to show your face. D-Ray said, thanks, ladies. Fat Daddy, congrats, ladies. Keep using the platform. Yeah, I've known them for quite some time, man. I bring them on. When boxing was going, they was doing some pretty big deals behind the scene of boxing. They know some big people. Like they know the heavy hitters in the game of boxing. And that's on the real. So, and John Owens, he's been in the sport along with his dad for decades. So he know the ins and outs of the sport. Real good friends with Paul, the Punisher Williams. Been knowing him for the longest of time. And earlier, I had the opportunity to briefly interview Jerry Forrest, who's stepping on deck this week to face Carlos Takam who the same Carlos Takam been in there with Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin and many others. And he was a last minute replacement for Jarrell Miller popping dirty again. So, I really want to kind of get some understanding as to what should the punishment be for Jarrell Miller. What the hell is going to be? Like, they just going to suspend him and then bring him back quick, or what? All duck Wolf, my brother. Yeah, that's what I thought. I did not think Wolf was running away from anybody. She's just not that type of lady, in my opinion. Flyweight is what weight? Flyweight is 115, I believe. Flyweight is 115, I believe. Ali Duck Wolf. Yeah. But that's all we was talking about, the Deontay Wilder situation. And the medical diagnosis from him going to the doctor and getting his head checked out post-fight and what was said from it. Line killer, y'all getting on here or what? I put the link in the chat, man. Y'all know how to stay on here that long if you don't want to. I give you 5 minutes, kind of figure it out, because I've been on here 2:20 already. We have a fight card, a top ranked fight card, the first of the week tomorrow on Tuesday. Just a reminder. I put it up on my my Facebook, my World Combat Sports page, the group, and Addicted to Boxing. So Addicted to Boxing is my group too, but I put strictly boxing in there, no mixed martial arts. So in case y'all didn't know that, that's where it's at. Any pure heavyweight that can punch a little beats Wilder. Punch a little? Stavern can punch. Arthur Spilker can punch. Gerald Washington could punch. Johan Duhaupas could punch. It wasn't that easy, my brother. Luis Ortiz could punch. Had 41 seconds to get it done. Baton the bell rang. Who was there standing ready to come for another battle? Deontay Wilder. Hey, Luis Ortiz had his chance. No one can say he didn't have him in trouble. He did what he had to do, man. And guess what? It just wasn't enough. It absolutely wasn't enough. Valiant effort by Luis Ortiz. I like Luis Ortiz, but it wasn't enough, man. It takes more than just a punch. The card tomorrow, top rank boxing, is the first supposedly be Dante Stubbs, 160.2. So that's going to be, somewhat of a middleweight affair, possibly something in the junior middleweight. They give them pounds, you know what I'm saying? So one weight in at 160.2, the other one 159.3. Isaiah Jones. The next fight is going to be John Bolsa. This is a junior lightweight affair, junior welterweight affair. What am I reading? They came in 139.3. They was on weight. They was underweight. Larry Fryer, 138.9. Larry Fryers. That's an 8-round affair. Next is Jose Vargas. Salute to him. Good dude. Actually seen him fight twice already in person. This is a junior welterweight, and that limit is usually 140. He weighed in 140.5 pounds versus Salvador Brasino, who weighed in 138.2 pounds. This is a 10-round affair in the junior welterweight. Next would be Alex Salcedo, the main event. Salcedo, 140.8 pounds, which is a junior welterweight affair, versus Johnny Fredrickson, 140.9 pounds. 10-round affair, and it should be pretty decent, man. It should be pretty decent. I'm looking for Jose Vargas, like I always do. I mean, he's an exciting fighter. And also, I'm looking to see Alex Saucedo fight again. Let me see. Good boxing heavyweight, I meant. The big card is gonna be on the 9th, y'all. Not tomorrow, on a Tuesday. It's gonna be on the 9th. So good boxing heavyweight, I meant boxing heavyweight. Beast Punchy never land a big shot. Let me hold up, man. Yeah, looking at the live chat, and those of you that chimed in from Facebook. Shout out to Marcus Nall, Ohio's Run Boxing, man. Salute to you every time, whenever you get that channel up over here, man, so we can start saying, hey, go follow Ohio Runs Boxing on his YouTube channel. You know, but he's doing very good things over in Ohio, man. You know, providing his boxers a voice, you know what I'm saying? Providing them a segue to be placed out here, you know, and provide that exposure for them on social media and put them out here on these multiple platforms to get their name out there. That's somewhat the same energy that I'm trying to do with fighters in general. Because listen, if someone like Marcus or anybody who promote a fighter or does media, any type of advertisement, that's more followers that they're gonna have. It may not be the physical followers, but we're talking about eyes on seeing these fighters. You might as well get out your head on, okay, if you have this amount of people tuning in to a live stream, I'm not gonna pay for subscribers and I'm not gonna pay for viewership. It's not gonna happen. But would I be remiss not to say I know people who do? Correct. I knew people who goddamn time they go live, they're paying for shit, you know, to make it seem like they challenge popping. That's not a concern with me, period. I just want people to come on here that love talking boxing, provide some good feedback and input to talk about, and that's it. I'm old school, bro. My life don't depend on, you know, on the back and forth and what views. But I run into some cats and they decide to kind of think they're gonna devalue my life by saying, okay, what about this view, that view? I say, bro, you're in a whole nother freaking stratosphere, a dimension right now. It's almost like you're trying to talk inside the Milky Way. You know, you up in space and shit without a suit on. You're not gonna get through to me like that. I believe in the handshake integrity, and that's what I believe from a person. If you got 50,000 subscribers and they all donate once a day, shit, you should be rich. Try to get them to do that. Break them down. Hey, I have 100 subscribers. Can you please donate just $1 to help out a fledgling YouTuber? Please, just $1 a day. That's all I ask. And see what happens. You might have good ones, and you might have bad ones. Period. Big Baby needs to go to WWE. That's hey. They have policies over there too. You're not just gonna go over there and be a juice head anymore. They have policies too, but they might be a little bit lenient than boxing. Boxing heavyweight, I mean. Hey, Fat Daddy, I don't think anybody beats Wilder outside of Fury. I don't. If Joshua would have took that fight in 2018 with Deontay Wilder, he would have got knocked out. He would have got put to sleep. That's why they didn't take the fight, because they had the zone deal coming out. They had the 2-fight Wembley deal. And plus, Anthony Joshua could not sign any type of confirmation to take that $50 million. Just imagine if he would have took the 50 mil, that was his guarantee money, and went in there and made another 25, 30 million PPV, everything else. Man, he would have said to himself, do I really need Eddie Hearn? I just made $70-some million off just a strict negotiation. But I don't think he would have had them titles after that $50 million. Because I think that would have been a time Deontay Wilder became undisputed champion. Because the stipulation was the fight had to be over in the US, and there was no rematch clause. So it was all or nothing. And you know, for Joshua to take that fight, he would have had to have some cojones. He would have had to step up and let him hang and go in there and take that fight with Deontay Wilder and see what the results are going to be. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, everybody, it's been a pleasure. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Appreciate you. I will be stopping